Northcom has a sacred obligation to defend our great nation. We realized early in the COVID-19 epidemic that we needed to take aggressive action to ensure our crews, our force, were able to perform their mission despite the impacts of the virus. We've done things like isolate our crews. We've taken them to Cheyenne Mountain, where they're isolated to be able to perform their command and control capability while they're not affected by the virus. We've also taken the social distancing within our headquarters to ensure all within the headquarters can be able to maintain their ability to operate.
Driving south to Colorado Springs, it looms in the distance. One of the most famous military bases in the world, Cheyenne Mountain. 1 mile inside the granite, 2,000 feet down from the top, it is a giant command and control center that has kept America safe for 50 years. Inside the mountain are 15 2- and 3-story buildings. They are freestanding but connected by hallways and ramps. There is also a service area to keep the complex running, and even reservoirs, yes, underground lakes. You get inside by driving through a 2-mile tunnel, and when you get to the middle, you see the doors. The 2 famous blast doors that have kept the facility safe when they're closed. The door to this building weighs 25 tons and runs on hydraulics. It's usually open all the time, but if it is closed, oh, then there's a problem.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 10. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty. Verse 11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. Verse 12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Jumping down to 17. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. 18. And the idols he shall utterly abolish. 19. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, starting at the 10th verse, then of course jumping down to the verse 18 all the way down to 20, is from what you're seeing now with the heathens. Okay, the heathens, they're getting scared, they're getting nervous. The military, as well as the rich and powerful. And now they're running to their bunkers, all right? They're trying to escape. But hey, there's no escaping because we're living the last days. The God of the Bible the God of Israel, Yahweh, all right, and his son Yahweh Shai, they've been watching you, and they've been seeing nothing of your they've been seeing nothing but your wickedness, and it's time, for you to get your judgment. And you notice in the post production, the videos that I put in post production, okay, you have them moving military personnel into Cheyenne Mountain. Okay, you have the rich hiding and going into the bunkers for fear not of the COVID-19, but of civil unrest. And this is what we're coming to, because hey, there's going to be civil unrest here in America and abroad, all throughout the globe, man. There was a report that Italy, the south portion of Italy, they're getting ready for looting and riots, because they've been quarantined so much that people don't have food, people don't have water. And this is what's coming to America. So let's get into this article, and just to show you how nervous the military is, the elites of the military of America, and the rich. NORAD, Northcom personnel shift to Cheyenne Mountain bunker due to virus spread. Right. And this virus, whether it's real or fake, me personally, I believe it's a bio weapon. Okay. And there's been plenty of conspiracy videos out there that proves that not only America, but all these other nations have been testing bioweapons, but and they do it on their people, especially here in America. I forget St. Louis, Missouri, about the bioweapon test I believe it was done. Let me get that. America's bioweapon. Excuse me, I'm just jumping around a little bit because hey, that's the spirit. America bioweapon 60 St. Louis. Yeah, here we go. U.S. military released back over and over again. This is from Business Insider. The military has conducted dangerous warfare experiments on Americans, right? And it gives you a list. And one of the most shocking ones was in, where is it at? St. Louis, okay? Where they were spraying people in St. Louis, Missouri with bioweapons. Here we go. City tests were conducted in St. Louis too. All right. In 2012, Lisa Martino Taylor, sociology professor at St. Louis Community College, Merrimack, released a report theorizing that the Army's experiments could be connected to cancer rates in a low-income, mostly black, Southern Kingdom, Judah neighborhood in the city where zinc cadmium sulfide had been tested. She said she was concerned that there could have been radioactive component to some testing, though she did not have direct evidence for that possibility. Her report, however, prompted both senators from Missouri to write to the Army Secretary demanding answers, the Associated Press noted at the time. Okay? Martino's suggestion remains purely hypothetical. The human dimension is never mentioned in most Army documents Cole writes in the book. Instead, they're just discussions of how well the particulates spread and what they learned about the possibility of biological attacks from them. Exactly. So you have St. Louis, what they were spraying in the military. The Army was spraying mainly Jake. Okay, was there anyone? That's all. You can, I'll put this article in. You can read. The point is, the U.S. military has constantly been conducting experiments on the American people, especially our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, because you're the children of Israel. And that's the reason why the Lord is bringing judgment to America. All right? Did you want to know why this whole craziness with COVID-19 and lockdown? It's because the Lord's bringing judgment. End of discussion. Is judgment season for you proud-ass, wicked heathens, starting with you Edomites, you so-called white people. NORAD, Northcom personnel shift to Cheyenne Mountain bunker due to quote-unquote virus spread, blah, blah, blah. But here's the point. It says, an undisclosed portion of the NORAD Northcom contingent at Peterson Air Force Base has moved to Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Station as the COVID-19 virus spread, right? And I can give you my own personal experience. When I was in the United States Army about 13 years ago, okay, I was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado. And I could tell you personally that when I was in military fatigues, when I got lost and I took a wrong turn, literally, I was going in direction towards that mountain, and literally, the military police stopped me and said, "What am I doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that I wasn't allowed in here." It's like, "No, turn around and go away." They don't even allow soldiers from the different bases around that mountain to even be there. You have to be selected, and that goes to show you how tightly disclosed this place is. Because they were, I remember I was like, "Whoa, I'm in uniform. Y'all talking to me like I'm a terrorist." Just to show you how fortified and restricted that area is, just from my own experience. Continuing on, the granite bunker south of Colorado Springs was specifically built, opening in 1967 for the North American Aerospace Defense Command, a binational force with Canada that guards the North American continent. And notice they're linked with Canada. Okay? So you're going to have to, that's a foreign troop already, all right, in America, on American soil, just throwing it out there, that guards the North American continent. The command linked up with U.S. Northern Command after it was created in response to September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Right. And according to thedrive.com, Air Force General Terrence O. Chastany, NORAD Northcom commander, held a Facebook Live town hall on March 24th, during which he announced some personnel would move from Peterson to the mountain to isolate from the virus. Right. And that's a heavily fortified mountain. Okay. And why are they doing that? Because they're getting ready for civil unrest, man. They know civil unrest is coming. Let me get the book of, I'll get this right now. The book of 2nd Esdras 15, and I'll start at 14. Woe to the world of them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course their actors shall stand in their power. Right. And why is this going to happen? Well, according to the Federal Reserve, coronavirus, quote unquote, job losses could total 47 million. Unemployed rate may hit 32%, Fed estimates. Right. That's worse than the Great Depression. That's the reason why the elite and the military are running to their bunkers, man. All right, and fortify themselves because they're getting ready for civil unrest. Like I've been saying, COVID-19 is going to be the least of you clowns' worries in America, man. All right, you're going to have to worry about your neighbor invading. Let me get that scripture. All right, because there's going to be race wars. All right, class wars. Okay, the haves and have-nots. It's about to be insane and wild in America, all right? The purge, literal purge is coming to America, to a city near you. And that's why these elites, the rich, are hiding, and they're running to their bunkers, and they're getting ready to isolate themselves from the rest of the sheep, all right? Zechariah 14:13. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise against the hand of his neighbor, right? All right, it's talking about, all right, first, there's going to be race wars. You're going to have, okay, the Israelites versus you Edomites, all right? You heathens, you just better try to run away, stay clear, okay? Because it's really the battles between Esau and Jacob, all right? Then you're going to have different class warfares, all right? Generational warfares, all right? It's going to be all madness and crazy out here, man. And they're not going to listen to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's been caught lying too many times. They're not going to listen to the senators. They're not going to listen to the politicians, and that's why these soldiers, these high-ranking military personnel, these rich, are fortifying themselves. All right, and they're going to use you low-level soldiers, you low-ranking military personnel. Okay, you police officers. You're going to have to fight against the civilians. All right, there's going to be civil war. All right, then you're going to see racial tensions hit different pockets. It's going to be a madhouse, man. It's going to be wild out here. And these are the times that we're living in. Let's go back to this article because it's very, just get the idea of what's about to happen. Millions of Americans have already lost their jobs due to coronavirus. And the worst of the damage is yet to come, according to the Federal Reserve estimate. All right. The economists at the Fed St. Louis District Project, that's spiritual, St. Louis. All right. That's where they were conducting those experiments. All right. So, hey, St. Louis is going to be a wild, it's going to be a wild zoo. Economists of the Fed St. Louis District project to total employment reduction of 47 million, which would translate to a 32.1% unemployment rate, according to recent analysts. That figure reflects the high nature at risk of jobs that ultimately could be lost to a government-induced economic freeze aimed at halting the coronavirus spread. Right, because as long as they keep this freeze, all right, it just makes it more prevalent that these jobs will never come back, and that's what it is. Hey, man, this is it, man. This is looking like every day the catalyst that's needed, all right, for depopulation, all right, martial law, okay, sedition among men, okay, and also to bring about the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. So, all you clowns that were like, oh, GMS, you're into conspiracies, theories, and that's all you want to talk about. Well, what do you got to say about all this? Why are the elites in America, all right, doing this? Why is the military and the rich hiding? Why are these figures coming out all of a sudden? And they're not even hiding it anymore. Quote, these are very large numbers by historical standards, but this is a rather unique shock that is unlike any other experience by the U.S. economy in the last 100 years. Right. The last 100 years. Okay? Because since when was the Federal Reserve documenting this? When they started documenting the condition of the economic peoples when it was resurrected in 1914. St. Louis Fed economist Miguel Ferrer E. Castro wrote in a research paper posted last week, there are a couple of important caveats to what Ferrer Estrella calls back-of-the-envelope calculations. They don't account for workers who may drop out of the labor force, right? Because remember, unemployment benefits is what calculates the 47 million. If you're claiming unemployment benefits, you're part of this number. If you're not claiming it, you're not part of that number. So there's got to be a lot more than 47 million, thus bringing down the headline unemployment rate. And they do not estimate the impact of recently passed government stimulus, which will extend unemployment benefits and subsidize companies for not cutting staff and extending unemployment benefits, right? Those companies, all right, that are waiting for that money, and people are not receiving that money yet, but they haven't laid those people off. They're just waiting to get that money. However, the jobless picture already looks bleak. A record, here it is. This is what I wanted to bring out. The central part of Ferrer Estrella's compilations comes from previous Fed research showing 66.8 million workers in occupations with high risk of layoff. They are sales, production, food preparation, and services. Other research also identified 27.3 million people working in high contact intensive jobs such as barbers and stylists, airline attendants, and food and beverage service. The paper that took an average of those workers and estimate a loss of just over 47 million positions. That will bring the U.S. unemployment rolls to 52.8 million, or more than 3 times worse than the peak of the Great Recession. The 30% unemployment rate would top the Great Depression peak of 24.9%, 29%, right? So this is worse than the Great Depression, all right? And that's why these clowns are hiding in their bunkers, and they're scared, man, because people are going to be looting, people are going to be rioting, just like what's going on in Italy. Let me get that article. Italy, I keep saying it, now as I'll bring it up. Because Italy they're literally literally caught out there, and it's very scary out there in Italy. Looting, riot. Yeah, here we go. Bloomberg report. Italy risks losing grips in South with fear of looting and riots. You see that? So there you have it, man. Okay? And that's what's coming to America. And that's the reason why the elite are hiding, all right, in their bunkers, the military, the high brass military, like, what's his name? General Terrence O. Shadetsy, okay, the Air Force general. He's hiding in his bunk in this Cheyenne Mountain, right? Because they're getting ready, man. They're getting ready. Let's go back to the scriptures. 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's what we're coming to. A lot of people are going to be afraid. Military is going to be afraid. Police officers are going to be afraid. Firefighters are going to be afraid, okay? First responders, afraid. The average, you women, you're going to be afraid, okay? This is again deadly serious. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? Nothing's open. Everything's on lockdown. Okay? 47 million people are out of a job, or if you really do the calculations, really 52.8 million. So that's why this is going to happen. And that's why the rich and powerful are hiding. But guess what? Rich and powerful, you're just hiding from the sheep. But you can't hide from the men of the Lord. Check this out. The Lord is going to use the men of the Lord, okay? And they're going to take you out of these mountains, wherever you're at. All right? Because, hey, before the nukes drop, certain men are going to be given spiritual powers here in America. Jeremiah 16:16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Right. So there's going to be a time when, and it's getting close, because now the men of the Lord are on the highways and byways. You already have certain cities. I know for us down here in South Florida, we can't teach the word on the streets anymore. So, hey, the fishing is coming to the end. Now the Lord is going to put the Spirit on his men, all right, in these latter days to go hunting. And all you soldiers and that are in the mountains, and all you rich and powerful, and your security force, they're no match for the men of the Lord when they're given spiritual powers, because the Lord is going to put the Spirit on them to hunt you. Okay. 17. For my eyes are upon all their ways; they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. Right. All the wickedness you've done, all the experiments, all right, the bioweapon experiments that you've done to us as a people. The Lord saw all that, and he's going to raise up men, all right, to put a foot, okay, in your rear end. And there's nothing you can do about it. All right, we're coming to the end of days where the Lord is going to make sure to get vengeance upon those that touch the apple of his eye, and he's going to use his men, because you gotta worry about not only the Lord and his angels coming to strike you down, which is going to be the end of all be all, but also his men that are given spiritual powers. All right? 18. That's it for that one. Let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 9 and 1. And I was going through the Spirit. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered right. So what the Lord is saying, there's no escaping your judgment, you heathens. All right, you high-ranking military officers and you rich, wealthy people, all right, that have your bunkers built, Bill Gates, all right, Bezos, right? There's no escaping. You will be judged. 2, though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Right. That's you digging, right? Creating those bunkers. The Lord is going to grab you. Though they climb up to heaven, right? Meaning you going up to the space station and hiding up there, thence will I bring them down, right? And the Lord is going to use his men to do it. All right? 3, and though they hide themselves on the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Right, Leviathan is going to, take you out of your hiding place even in the sea. All right, so you elites, wherever bunkers you built, wherever you built, between, whether it be in the caves or under the ocean or in the heavens, right? What's it called? Where the space station is at. It don't matter. You will be taken out of power because we're living the last days. And final one, and I'll close out with this one. Revelation, and Lord willing is edifying to the hopeful elect. All you unbelievers, hey, what do you got to say about your rich and powerful, your CEOs, okay, and your military personnel? Why are they hiding in bunkers? Why are they Why is the one military is going to Cheyenne Mountain? All right, they're hiding over there. You got the super rich running into their bunkers. Why are they doing all this? Oh, because they know this is over, man. They know the purge is coming and they want to escape from it. But guess what? They won't escape from the men of the Lord. But you clowns, you stuck out there, all you unbelievers, all y'all that kept talking shit about us here at Great Millstone, right? What do you got to say now, buddy? Revelation 6:12. And beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, lo, there was great earthquake, and the sun became black as a sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Right, that's talking about when the nukes dropped. 13, the stars ever fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree cast around timely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. Right, that's the impact from the nukes. Okay, that's the reason why you have the military hiding in their bunkers. That's the reason why you have the super rich hiding in their bunkers. Oh, by the way, disclaimer, note, okay, if you built a bunker here in America and the men of the Lord didn't get you, hey, that was because you were going to sit in that bunker and cook, because America is going to be hit with 200 million nukes. So if all you military personnel in Cheyenne Mountain, all right, that thought you escaped from the men of the Lord, you still got to get ready for the nukes, because the nukes are going to destroy Cheyenne Mountain. All right, 200 million. We bank on that. All right, that's scripture. So America is going to be desolate. Babylon is fallen, man. All right, so there is no escaping. If you built a nuke in America, if you built a bunker in America, you were dumb. All right, you didn't get the memo from the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the DuPonts. They built their bunkers, okay, outside of America in different parts of the world that you don't know nothing about. So just making that note, that disclaimer. If you didn't get the memo from the Rothschilds, that means they hated you. They definitely deceived you. 15, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Right. Now, isn't that what they're doing? Okay, the rich, all right, the military, they're hiding themselves. Okay. 16. They're doing that now. This is biblical, man. The Bible said these clowns were going to do this in the last days. Look at them. All right? That proves that the Lord's words, let me get that real quickly. The Lord said this was going to happen. This is why you got to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, he said they were going to do this. All right, John saw them do this. He put the Spirit on John to write this. All right, let's go to Isaiah 55. And Isaiah 55, and I'll start at 10. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but water the earth and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Right. So the Lord's saying, using some symbolism and a metaphor, like showing you, hey, you see how it rains and it snows, and you don't see it go back up into the clouds. When it comes down, it comes down. There's no stopping it. All right. So that's how the Lord is comparing his word to the rain. All right. To the snow, how it comes down from heaven. All right, and it doesn't return. Same. That's how the Lord's comparing His words. All right, the Lord is literally using metaphors and being poetic, man. That's how you know the Lord's a Jake. Esau don't talk like this. 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I sent it. Right. So the Lord said that in the latter days, these heathens, all right, and those 2/3 that are sold out and are with the military, the high-ranking military, and are able to go into Cheyenne Mountain and wherever other place. All right, those leaders of the 2/3 that built their bunkers. Okay, the Lord said that they were all going to do this in the latter days. So who's lying here? Who lies? Man or the God of the Bible? Man. 16. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Right, because we're coming to the time where, hey, the Lord's about to show himself to the whole world. Okay? And he's gonna make sure them nukes drop. And that's why these kings, all right, who are the kings of the earth? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, all right, the great men, the rich men, right? Those that built their bunkers outside of America, the chief captains, right? Those that built their bunkers outside of America, the mighty men and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. They were hiding from the judgment, those that could hide. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and for the wrath of the Lamb. Right, and who's the Lamb? That's Yahushua, who the world inly calls Jesus. 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Right, who's going to stand in judgment? All right, and it's time. It's time for you wicked people that walk the earth to get your judgment, man. And this is what the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua have been saying, okay? There is a recompense for your wickedness, for all your iniquity, for you being for you being prideful, all right? With having that lofty spirit, man. Pride goeth before destruction. Let me get that. Proverbs 16. This will be the last one. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Right, Proverbs 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So you thought that you could do whatever you want to the children of Israel. You thought you could do whatever you want to the earth, okay? And you thought you could get away with it. Nuh-uh. The Lord saw it all. And he's going to make sure to bring that wrath and judgment. And he's going to use his men. You better get ready to be hunted out of the mountains. All right? All you military personnel, all right? And you rich people, okay? The Lord sees all. There's no escaping his wrath. So Lord willing is edifying to the hopeful elect. Hey, prophecy's moving fast. These elites are running scared, okay? They got to do what they can to bring in a new world order. And a lot of people are going to die, man. Depopulation is in effect. 47 million out of the job. And that's according, all right, to a low ball figure. All right? The real figure is much higher than that. That's the times that we're living in. So with that, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Wakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, great millstone, who well taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there, pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. As you can see, we're almost out of here. We're at the end. It is over. Babylon has fallen. Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. Shalom, and of course, Abba Ball. Shalom.